So this is my November 2023 checking for my Yarn by Year project, and this is the first time in about 2 years that I feel quite embarrassed with what I've bought this month. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my very small place on the internet where I talk about all my life and my knitting life. And today it's going to be an episode about my Yarn by Year project that I started about 2 years ago. It's going to be 2 years in next January. We are in November 2023 and most probably this video will be up in December 2023. But this project, I started it officially in January, but I had already started to think about and sketch out all of my regulations, what I would allow myself to be doing about between the months of November and December 2021. So I will link the playlist about my by Year project if you are interested into more details as to why I started this project. Basically, at some point I got overwhelmed with all my buying, and it was also at the end of the year of 2021, and I was very influenced by people who were posting videos and behind them was a stash similar to what a yarn store would be, or when people would report about what they were buying, and I was very tempted by buying all of that, so I did. And if I started the project, I've always said it was not a problem of money. I was never in a financial difficult situation. I understand I'm quite fortunate to have a full-time job and be able to pay all my bills and my youngest son's bills, who is currently a student. But it was overwhelming, and I started to accumulate a lot of yarn, and I was thinking I won't have enough of my own lifetime to knit all of that, so I need to do something about it. And at the time there were several people, not necessarily in the knitting community, who were talking about being minimalistic, and I'm not a minimalist. I'm not sure I am. But anyway, I kind of think this is a good thing to be, for myself, going on to the minimalist side of life. So I started this project to regulate how I would buy yarn or objects or books and everything. So the first year where I did that I was really happy, because I almost did not buy yarn unless I was there in person. So that would restrain my occasions to buy yarn, and I would buy mohair from the Pyrenees or Poitou, where I go on vacation. And this is this is one piece. I'm just going to tell you which one it is, but you most probably already know it. And I found a couple places in Normandy that I like to go and where I bought yarn. And that's about the only places I go in person and get yarn for myself. And also what last year has shown me is that your yarn comes my way. People have sent me yarn. I've sent yarn and mohair around too. My kids have got me yarn for my birthday or things like that. So yes, yarn comes my way, and Ramses is on the table once again. So I still have a large stash, or a lot of yarn I want to be knitting from that I haven't got to knitting all the pieces I wanted to. I have the patterns for that. And what I did was buy a lot of online patterns, so kind of compensate. So this year I had said I would not buy any pattern unless I am ready to cast on. And so I did. I was very good about that. and I did not buy any pattern that I was not ready to cast on, and so far I bought only one. This month was, I don't know how to say that. It was an explosion, but every time I bought something, what's changed between about the same time of year 2 years ago and this year is that I thought through all of my buyings. I'm a bit embarrassed to be talking about that because I spent a lot of money. It was my birthday month, so one yarn purchase was, I said, okay, this is going to be my birthday present from me to me. I usually don't buy birthday presents for myself, so. And the next one, the other one, was for my own Christmas present, and I usually do not buy Christmas presents to myself. So I guess I kind of justified in a way my yarn purchases. And also I bought several books and patterns. So books is fine. So I bought at the same time the booklets or the magazines and books because you must probably know that Pompom is closing down. So I took the opportunity of the sale. And the only one that I kind of impulse bought, but I already had that book on my list, was from the sale from Len magazine. I haven't done any Black Friday or whatever hunting. It just came into my inbox and I said, well, this book is on my list, so let me just get it. At the end of the month, it's a lot of money. So if you are interested into that, after all of my rambling and my context, please stay tuned. Okay, first, what am I wearing? I am wearing my Cozy X that I knit in February 2023, at the beginning of this year, with Arbizon mohair from the Pyrenees. Arbizon, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's the name of a mountain next to the place where I go. It's the highest point of this valley where I'm used to going and where the goat farm and the farmer is located. So Cozy X by Intermstein, it's a really warm sweater, and as you can maybe see, there is a lot of sun today. It was the first frost. As far as I am aware, the skies were really clear and it was frozen this morning, and it's very cold outside, although it's very sunny. So what are you going to be doing, my dear cat? Okay, so it's very sunny, very cold. So this is why I pulled out a couple days ago already my Cozy X sweater that I like a lot. I like the details on the side, and it's a bit boxy, it's a less dressy one. And here you have my little Chobet bandana with Romney yarn from Atelier Pure Laine. And here is my Borough hood by Toriu. So the little Chobet bandana, I adapted a pattern from Lemon Kit that was absolutely not for fingering weight. And the Borough hood by Toriu, you won't like my tea, I'm sure, that I knit with Bichebuche, Le Petit Lamb's Wool and Le Petit Silk Mohair in dark blue turquoise, and it was a present from one of you for my birthday last year. So with my coat and the hood, I am extremely toasty and I'm really warm and I'm not cold at all. So just perfect knitwear for a dry, cold and sunny day. Okay, so I'm going to start with the yarn, because if you're not interested into books and other things, you can stop after I've talked about the yarn that I bought. So it was at the very beginning of November, and I was going for a weekend to see my beloved in-laws, and I made a 2 hours detour to go to Atelier Pure Laine and see Frédéric. She just had just came back from Felton, which is where Fonty and another mill is located. And every year there are 4 days, I think, les Journées Nationales de la Laine. I've talked about that event already. So it's about 20,000 people that gather over 3 or 4 days. A lot of vendors come too, and there are a lot of animation and workshops and stuff like that around the two mills themselves. She had said that she would try to bring back some yak yarn from Filature Terrade, which is one of the mills that are located there. When she came back, she informed everyone she had yak, that she could bring back some yak. And she had come back to her farm maybe a couple days before that. So I told her, can I come back and see you? I'm going to the Poitou and see my family. So it's going to be a detour, but can I come by and see the yak? If you are ready to sell some for me, because as many people had ordered yak, she had less yardage or metrage than what everyone had ordered. So I said, if there is not enough for me, that's not a problem. But she said, okay, come by. And as I have so little compared to what everybody had asked for, I might as well not sell anything online and sell to people who would come and visit the farm. So, okay. So I went down and I stopped and we started to talk and everything. So I bought 1 kilogram of yak. So this was from the year before. She had yak from this year, and yak from this year was very brown. And yak from last year was more gray, as you can see. So it's 3-ply, 260 meters per 100 grams. So there is 1 kilogram. And it's 50% merino and 50% yak. So this is more of a sports weight DK type of yarn. I think it's my preferred yarn weight. That's what I like. And 1 kilogram, I have enough for at least 2 sweaters. I have a couple ideas, and maybe a shawl or some of the kind of accessory, a hat or something like that. The yarn itself is very soft. It's kind of heathered because it's a mix of course, yak and merino, and it's really soft. And I had decided I wanted to get some yak from her after she had me try one of the sweaters that she knit with that yak, that the very one from 2022, and it's extremely warm, extremely light. Just very soft and very different from what I'm used to knitting with. So yes, I had said, okay, if you can get me some, that's fine. If you can't, that's fine too. So she said, you are the first one to come and visit. Take your pick. And all the ones from this year, they were not really 1 real kilogram. It was always so small bobbins or much bigger ones. So she said, okay, I still have 3 cones left from last year. If you want to have one of them, I sell them to you. So this one I got. That's the first thing I got when I went there, because there were other things. And the yak was 100 euros for 1 kilogram. So when you think of it, it's 10 euros per 100 grams. It's really not expensive compared to merino and yak, 50% merino, 50% yak, that you can find from other places. So at the time, so I'm going to be talking about that later on. But I got a book at the same time for that day. It's a book that she contributed to translate, so she has that in her own form. So she had a few samples left from the editor, and she was selling them. So I got what I had one reserved. When I had seen she had these books, I said, okay, keep one for me. So so I got it at the same time. And I also got some other things that I'm going to be talking about just next. When I was there, she showed me her cashmere, because she had brought yak and cashmere. 50% cashmere, 50% merino. And so I left without buying the cashmere, because I was thinking, no, you already have 1 kilogram of yak, you have so many more yarn in your stash, you got lots of lovely mohair last summer, and there are projects you want to be doing, and that's enough. And so it was at the very beginning of November, and it stayed with me, and I was thinking about the cashmere all the time. Last weekend, I went for a day. She does that every 2 weeks, but as she's 2 hours away from me, it's quite a long drive, and but I decided I had said I was going to be going to that Saturday, because I won't be going before next spring. The weather is not going to be nice enough and everything for me to drive for 2 hours like that. So I went last Saturday. The weekend before that, she had another event somewhere else, and I had told her, please sell all of your cashmere, because I'm coming and I'm going to be tempted and I don't want to be anymore. So she said, we'll see. And then when I was there, all of her 3-ply, that is the one that is about the same weight as the yak, was sold, but she had some fingering left. And I can tell you that I still had, about 3 weeks after touching it, the softness of the cashmere in my hands. And I said, okay. So the yak is going to be my birthday present from me to me. And, I've said already, I usually don't buy birthday presents. So it's just an excuse. And I bought some cashmere. So I looked around. So the cashmere is 1 kilogram and 138 grams for 4,552 meters. So it's 500 grams per 2,000 meters, or 2,000 meters per 500 grams. So that is 400 meters per 100 grams. So that's fingering weight. So you see, it's much smaller. It's much smaller, finer yarn. I can knit it double if I want to knit with my preferred gauge, but I may also knit it single. It's so soft. I can't describe it to you. It's so soft. So it's natural color. It's 50% merino, 50% cashmere, and it's an extremely beautiful and an extremely soft yarn, even softer than the yak. It doesn't have anything to do with the yak. You can't compare. It's much softer, and it's the softest yarn that is not mohair that I have touched so far. I had the yarn in my hands for all the time before I went back there. So I said, okay, this is going to be my Christmas present from me to me. So it's a light beigey brown. It's a very light brown, more on the beigey side, but not too warm, not too much of yellow in it, not too warm. And I liked this color, and I'm most probably going to be knitting in double-stranded. I'll have to swatch and see what I want to be doing, and I already have a couple patterns in mind. So I also have to swatch with the yak and see what I'm going to be doing all of this. So, you see, two extremely luxurious cones of yak and cashmere, 50% yak and 50% merino and 50% cashmere and 50% merino. I think that's the most luxurious yarn I have ever bought. For the cashmere, I spent 136 euros per 1,138 grams. So that's about a bit around, I will make the calculation. I haven't made the calculation yet, but it's also between 10 and 15 euros, maybe 12 or 13 euros per 100 grams for cashmere, and 10 euros per 100 grams for the yak. I think these were very inexpensive when you see what prices you can usually buy this type of yarn anywhere else. And even though I went overboard with that, I'm very, very happy that I spent that money. Okay, next, let's talk about books. This book was from last month, checking, but it took a long time for the book to come to me. I've had it for a couple days only. It's the Knitting Pattern Writing Handbook by Kristina McGrath and Sarah Walworth. Both of them are tech editors. They have a YouTube channel about where they talk about tech editing, and I heard of them on Roxanne Richardson's YouTube channel. She had an interview and a whole video with both of them, and I've been very interested into the tech editor work. Not that I'm not interested into being a tech editor, not at all. But I think that tech editors' input on patterns can be extremely valuable. So this is why I bought the book, and I did not read it completely. I've read the parts that were of most interest to me, because everything that is about writing patterns themselves, I'm a scientist, I have a PhD, I've been doing research, a postdoc in the US and everything. So writing patterns and writing science papers are the same, or scientific papers, whether it's about history papers too, is science, it's real science. But it's the same kind of foundations and rules and stuff like that. So that part about writing, the technical part of writing a pattern, I did not learn much about that. But what I did love about reading, and I can report back a bit further on when I've read more about it, it's the chapter about sizing. This is something I very often do, knit off gauge and size the pattern that I am knitting for my new gauge. So that's one thing that is important. And there is a chapter I haven't read that is Common Sweater Pitfalls. That also can be extremely interesting into knowing more about where usually you have difficulties with a sweater designing pattern, and working with a tech editor. And once again, that was more familiar to me and something more of my own background and culture. I will be reading that book a bit more deeply, and I will let you know if and what I take from it into my own knitting life. Okay, next is the book I bought from Atelier Pure Laine, from Frédéric, and it's a book she's helped translate. It's Les moutons et la laine en Europe, sheep and yarn in Europe. So it's a bit like the big sheep and fleece type of book that I already have and I love. It's okay. How funny! I just opened it on the Hampshire Down page just by chance, and that's the sheep breed she's having right now, and she's gonna have less and less sheep, and she will get rid of all of her Romney flock, and she will keep only the Hampshire Down and maybe 50 of them, and she's sized down from 500 to 250 right now, and she will size down again. Anyway, it's each sheep breed that you can find in Europe has a page like this where they describe what their fleece is, a very short description of the breed itself, and it's a kind of a digest and condensed version of the bigger book, and I really like that. And maybe you can see her. I'm not sure if you have the pictures of the people who translated the book. No, I don't think so. And they also talk about yak and other breeds you can find in Europe. So it's more on the not really technical, but a bit more technical history of breeds and type of breeds in Europe, and the type of fleece you can get from the sheep. I am not at all going to buy one fleece and make a sweater from it, even though I'm kind of dreaming about doing from fleece to sweater. I know some people have such kind of project, and I really like to see and watch them and read reports about what they are doing. But I'm not going to be doing that myself. But I'm very curious about everything around sheep breed, and as Frédéric had contributed to that book, and she had a few samples in her shop, I just got it. And I don't recall how much she sold it to me. I wrote 39 euros and 50 cents just a few minutes ago, because that's the price tag on the book itself. I know, but there was, I bought several other things when I was there at the time I got the book. And I'm not quite sure I recall. I think she had it for less, but that's the price I wrote down, because I don't recall how much she sold it to me. Okay, silly me. I'm filming that segment again because I did not hit the record button. Silly me. So next is gonna be the books I bought from Pompom. You may know that, and you most probably have heard that Pompom is closing down, and they are having a wholesale on their own website about all the magazines and books. And I placed 2 orders because the first time around I did not see they were also having a sale on the books. Everything but one book but the last issue of Pompom were on my list. I only got things that were on my list, and I added one book. Of course, what prompted me first was to pre-order their last issue of the Pompom magazine. So before I ordered, I kind of pondered and thought, what am I going to be doing? Because my rule for this year was to wait. I was ready to cast on a pattern to buy it if I did not have it already in my library. Second thing is that Pompom have said that for the foreseeable future, they would still offer digital downloads of their magazines and books when they have a digital download. What I was thinking was, what am I going to be doing? Do I wait? I'm ready to cast on and buy the digital pattern or magazine or book if they are offering a digital download for the books. This is taking the risk that it's going to be in some kind of time from now, or maybe a long time from now, and maybe they won't be offering digital downloads any longer. Or do I get the books and magazines now? So that was my first question. The second thing is I love books. I like to have them. I read through them, even though I'm not necessarily knitting a lot from my books, but I read a lot through them and I get a lot of inspiration and ideas from my books and magazines. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna buy the last issue and pre-order the last issue of Pompom, and I'm gonna buy the issues I have on my list, not any other one. So there were 3 of them. So maybe if I go in the right order, it's issue 38 from autumn 2021, issue 41 from summer 2022, and issue 42 from autumn 2022. So what did I see in issue 38? I don't have the name of the patterns. I'm just on their website, and I will find the name of the patterns and place pictures so that you can have a look. Why did I have issue 38 on my list? It's because of one sweater, heavily textured sweater, a beige sweater that immediately caught my attention when I saw it. And there is a second sweater that is more, so it's dark, so it's more on a ridge or maybe ribbed sweater. So these are the 2 sweaters I saw from issue 38. From issue 31, I had it on my radar for a long time, and I was just waiting for an opportunity to cast on. Is this t-shirt that is also heavily textured. It's also a yellow t-shirt, so maybe I'm on a yellow trend here, even though I don't think it fits me very well. But anyway, heavily textured, and there is a pair of shorts that can go with it. I'm not sure I would be interested into the shorts, but the t-shirt was really calling me and calling my name on that issue. And for issue 42, there were 2 things and maybe a third one. The first thing is that also yellow sweater, so it's a yoke sweater with cables, and it's a textured yoke that I think is really nice, and I would like to make it. And there is a companion, or on the same picture at least, a beret that the model is wearing, and the beret is a 2-colored beret between, and it's pink and yellow. I think it's a combination that is not very usual, and I think it goes very well. I have yarn for that, so and the beret is also cabled and textured, and with so some cables that are yellow, and the beret is pink, and bubbles that are yellow. So these are the 3 issues I already had on my list. I keep a list of things I want to be buying. And so I said, okay, let's pre-order the last issue, which is going to be issue 48. And I think they said it should ship around February or something. Whenever they are going to be shipping the last issue, they will place the 3 other issues Pompom magazine that I ordered. So when I did that, I missed one thing, that they were also having a sale on the books that are on their website. So I made a second order, so I paid taxes and stuff like that once again. And so these books were on my list too, already to be buying. The first one is the Shetland Trader, Book 3, Heritage. And you've seen people knit that one sweater that is on the cover many times. I'm not sure, I don't have the name of the sweater right now. I will write it down and the designer. This one sweater is the one that has, so it's a sticked sweater. I've never done that, so that's maybe some kind of a discovery for me too. with color work on the body, and the sleeves are without any color work. But on the same in the same issue, there is also another sweater that has color work on both the body and the sleeves, and maybe I like this one. Maybe I prefer that one. Anyway, so these sweaters, you've seen them everywhere, and there is also a shawl that is quite nice, and a couple. There is a beanie and a beret too with color work. So this one is mostly color work, of course. The second one is embodied by Jacqueline Cheslak, and she has a wardrobe collection that you can adjust to your body size and your body shape for both sewing patterns and knitting patterns. And as a side note, this is why I've always liked Pompom, because they have always been very size inclusive, and not only offering many sizes for their patterns, but also offering pictures with models that were very different kinds and body shapes and sizes. And this is less usual than offering a large range of sizes, but you always see the very skinny ones as the models when they are advertising the patterns. So Pompom was really a magazine that I really liked for that, for the size inclusivity. And so the third book I bought was also on my list. It's Moon and Turtle, Knitting Patterns with Variations. And of course, for the sweater that is on the cover, the colorwork sweater that is on the cover. But they also have other things like a really cute beanie and another hood. And I was thinking I want to be making another hood, but I don't like much knitting the pattern several times in a row, even though I've already done that. And I'm right now knitting a sweater for the second time. But this hood, I was saying, okay, let's do it, and let me buy that. And that's going to be another opportunity. So the only real book that I bought that was not on my list is Ready, Set, Raglan. And I like raglan-shaped sweaters, and I bought that also because there is a whole part where they talk about raglan construction. And of course, of the different patterns, there are several ones that I like. The thing is, what I really preferred, and it's as the reason why I bought the tech editing book, is to know more about the construction of the sweaters and the raglan shape for that one very book. So if I want to look at all of that, what that comes up to, it's a lot of money. So I spent 62 euros and 17 cents on one order, and 75 euros and 39 cents on the second order for the book. And if I do my calculation right now for the book for the month of December, it's 222 euros. That's a lot. That's way too much. That's the way it is. I did not get into buy. I stuck to my list except for the pre-ordering the next issue of the Pompom, last issue of Pompom magazine, and the raglan book sweater. That was not on my list, and that I saw when I was looking for the books that were on my list. I did not quite look anywhere else and see if there were other books that I was interested in, but that's what I did. Okay, it was not finished. I thought it was finished, but no, it was not finished. I forgot that the one impulse buy was also a book that was on my list. When I received a mail by Land Publishing, I usually delete all the sales mails I receive, even from designers or book editors or things like that, so that I'm not tempted. But the one from Len Publishing that came with their Black Friday, whatever, sale, I was thinking, okay, there is one book that I have on my list on their website that I want to buy. So that was an impulse buy. And maybe because I had been spending that much before, that I was thinking, okay, what the hell? And this is not good. This is not good, saying, what the hell? I've already bought that much. I've already eaten that much. I've already whatever that much. What the hell? I get loose and I completely lose control. This is what happened with a Textured Knit by Paula Pereira. Because there is no emergency into buying that book. Len Publishing did not say it was going to be going off and shutting down. And even if they don't have any book for that issue, maybe they will reissue another series. Maybe I can find them from other sellers. So there is also some time gap where a publisher goes out of one book that you are interested in, and maybe other sellers still have copies in their stores so that you can buy the book. So maybe at that time say, okay, I'm going to be buying the book because it's going to be sold out and I want to have it. So there was no real rush for me to be buying that book, but I do love it. I had it on my list. All of the patterns are of interest to me, of course. This all over textured sweater, of course. This is the one that really got me. But that book is really interesting. There is some embroidery. There is some different type of techniques and stitch patterns and motifs for shawls and sweaters and cardigans. And okay, let me just admit it. I was thinking, okay, I've been spending that much already. What the heck? That is the one impulse buying that I made. Do I feel bad about it? No, because that book was on my list. And most recently, I've been mostly interested into textured knitting more than color work, and this is why this book was on my list. But I need to be thinking about that a bit further, because why did I do that? Why did I said, what the hell? Let's do it. I've already spent that much. What is going to be 30 or 45 euros? Yeah, it's not going to change my life. Yes, that's true. 45 euros are not going to change my life. But the process of this way I bought may be changing my life. Okay, next and final expense. This month is the month that is breaking all of my records. But it's an expense I had already planned. If I was thinking my Yarn by Year project was successful, would I order it right now in November, knowing what I know now that I've been overboard and I kind of got into my bad habits? I'm not sure what I would have been doing. I don't know. But what happened is that Frédéric, as a professional in the area, she can order supplies, not only yarn and stuff like that, but also supplies for people. She has the right to sell supplies. So she was ordering from a big company that sells only to professionals for other people. And she called me and she said, okay, I'm placing an order. You said you were interested at some point into buying Chiaogoo Needles. Do you want? So it was at the end of the summer. Are you interested? You join the order I'm going to be making, because the more we have, the lower the prices and free shipping and stuff like that. And then after that, she kind of shares all the advantages over everyone. So I said, okay, it was at the end of the summer, and I said, okay, I think it's going to be a successful year. So I ordered it, and I got it at the beginning of this month when I went to see her the first time around. So I bought that set of Chiaogoo Needles. Everyone, you already know that set. So it's the regular set, the longer needles, and I bought a couple additional cables. I got 50 inches, so that's 125 centimeter small, and the same for the large needles. So it came with the cables that I'm already, you see I'm already using a couple needles from the set, and it also comes with, so if I'm starting to lose my needles, it's not going to be very good. It also comes with little stitch markers, so the stoppers and the tool to secure the needles on the cable on the needles, and a set of stitch markers. So okay, I got the needle back. It's the US 2.75 millimeters. And these needles are really pointy, but they are less sharp than my higher sharp. The cables also are without any memory. I'm not going to be telling you all the advantages of the Chiaogoo needles, because I guess I'm the last person of Earth to be knitting with Chiaogoo for the first time. But I'm already using them in 2 of my current projects. I have 2 sweaters on my needles right now, which is exceptional. I usually only have 1. I really love, they are really smooth. The metal is very different from the metal from the higher sharp. The metal is very smooth by itself, and I really like the way the right needle slides onto the left one when I knit. I like this smoothness that higher do not have. And also, they are sharp enough. So this is the biggest one. The biggest one is US 15, so it's 10 millimeters. These are the biggest one, and I like the way they are sharp enough. They are sharp enough to be useful when knitting, and they are less sharp than the higher. And you may recall I usually have a bit of a problem with splitty yarn, because I go in between strands with my needles, and I do not think I will end up having this problem with the Chiaogoo needle. So I'm extremely happy with that expense. Most of all, because I really did not pay a lot for it. Let me check again what I have written here. The whole set plus the additional cables was 152 euros. I think if you buy from a normal store, it's about almost 200 euros, I think, or maybe 170 or 190 euros. So as a professional, she buys things, of course, less expensive than a regular person when you are in store, and usually they apply their overhead so that can make a living from that, but she doesn't make a living from selling accessories. She just offers to be doing this to other people she knows and come to her farm, and she doesn't apply any overheads, so she just had us pay the price she paid. So that was a good thing, and I was pondering, do I get the small ones for the small circumference, mainly sleeves, because I'm not knitting socks yet. So maybe for some other time, because 150 euros was already quite an investment. It was before I buy all that yarn and all these books, of course. So I said, okay, we'll see next year if maybe that will be my next price for myself if my no buyer is successful. So that's something I was really wanting to be doing for a long time. I did not want to be just spending 200 euros in a needle set. It was too much. 150 euros is already quite expensive, but for that quality of needles, I do not regret it at all, and I'm extremely happy I did it, and that now I'm knitting with them. Okay, now the big scary numbers that I'm ashamed of. That's what it is. It is what it is. So for the month of November, I spent 610 euros and 6 cents. And I can't tell I've bought things for other people. I may give some yarn to other people that I bought, but I do not know for now what I'm going to be doing. So it's over 600 euros that I spent this month. It's a lot. It's too much. I can explain. I bought beautiful yarn. That was an opportunity because now Frederic has sold all over yak, and she has sold all over cashmere. It's all gone. So I'm quite happy I could get some and secure 1 kilogram of each for myself. I'm very happy I have the Chiaogoo Needles. I'm very happy I bought the books, even though I haven't received any of them for now. It's way too much. But all of that, I went overboard only for one item, that was the textured knits by Len Publishing. Do I feel bad about it? I'm expecting the book because I know I will love it. Do I feel bad? A bit. Yes, a bit, because I will have to be thinking about why did I do that. And this is something I do a lot, mainly with food. If I go overboard with food, at some point it's just all hell is loose, and let's go for it. So I don't think it's a very healthy behavior. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not the matter of buying the book. It's okay. But even if my no buyer says only buy if I'm ready to cast on, there were opportunities, and maybe things are going to be out of stock, and I won't be able to get them any longer. The only one I will be able to get again is the textured knits. So only once in 1 year. So far we are at the end of November. That's the only time I've done that. I would be better off if I had not done it. Yes, sure. So what am I going to be doing next? I do not know. I need to be thinking, and I think that for December it's going to be a no buy at all, nothing. And I'm thinking, and I will mull that over, and maybe my next no buy episode I will report on what I will be doing for next year. And I think I will maybe allow myself to buy at certain time of the year only, or 1 month, one every 3 months or something like that. And if an opportunity like this one comes and goes, just come and go. And am I able to be doing this? I don't know. But I need to be thinking about, if I go overboard, why don't just I acknowledge I'm going overboard and that's it? Why do I feel authorized to go even further overboard? That's my point. If you have already thought about that for yourself, or if you happen to be doing this also, please tell me down below what your thoughts are and why you think you are doing this. Maybe it's for a very different reason than why I'm doing it myself, because it's all linked, I think, to our history and stuff like that, and our personality and things like that, maybe things from the childhood or something. But yeah, that's something I've learned this year I need to be working on. And I'm giving 1 month to be thinking about how do I adjust my own no-buy-year project next year. I don't think I could do a dry no-buy. Don't buy anything for 1 year. I'm not sure I could do that because I want to go buy mohair. I want to, if I go to Cotentin or other places and I see yarn I like, I want to buy that yarn. For now, from Frédéric, I think I have about a sample of or a code of everything she sells. So I'm good for that from her own farm. But yeah, I'm not sure I can. It would be very sustainable for myself and my happiness to say, okay, no buy at all a dry year. I don't think I can do that. I don't think it would be healthy for me. But I need to think about why, once I go overboard, why do I feel compelled to go even further overboard? That's my question. Okay, so it looks like the sun is going out, and I need. We are on the weekend. We are on a Saturday, and I know I won't have enough any time to be filming next week. So this is why I'm filming on the Saturday, and I need to go in town. There are a couple of things I need to go get, and I want to go see my eldest son. So before the sun goes all together, I need to wrap that up. I do hope that these videos are of some interest to you or can help you. Please tell me down below. And yes, I do hope that your knitting is bringing you joy and happiness, that you have a bit of sunshine. For now, we are in between 2 stormy episodes in France, so the weather is quite calm and dry and cold, so that's good. Not too many clouds, so the nights are cold, but at least there is no rain and we can see some sunshine during the day. And I thank you very much for being here with me. I thank you very much for liking and subscribing and everything. And yes, I do hope I will see you next time.